Hello and welcome to this lifestyle and entertainment channel. So if this is your first time of stumbling on this channel and watching my video for the first time, you are welcome. My name is Sayo. But if you're a return viewer, like if you've seen some or most of my videos, then I'd like to say you're welcome back to my channel. And I just hope you're doing well. I hope everything is going on all right. You know, I hope you're hanging in there. Sometimes I like to say, let me know how you're feeling in the comment section below if you're up to it, okay? And then I'll be right there to respond and encourage as much as I can. But anyway, you're welcome to my channel, and in today's video I wanted to give you guys a recap of our cruise ship holiday, like the itinerary, like the facilities, as much as I can in this sit down video. So there's going to be another video with Q&A which is going to be after this video, but this one is just a recap of what a cruise ship holiday looks like or feels like, as well as some of my tips, recommendations and challenges that I might have had during the trip. Now my aim for this video is just for an awareness. So if there's anyone that is not used to a cruise ship holiday, you know, you're used to flying, taking the plane or taking the train or whatnot, or driving for holidays, and you haven't considered going on a cruise ship holiday, my aim is to let you know what it entails, and also to see if I can actually nudge you in the direction of actually experiencing a cruise ship holiday. So just as a pre-introduction, I have been on a cruise ship twice, and from the first time I went on a cruise ship holiday, I started telling people that obviously cared to know, or people that I would have conversation of holidays with, I started telling them how wonderful it is to go on a cruise ship holiday and how I highly recommend it as one of my favorite, if not my most favorite type of holiday. So yeah, that's my aim for this video, just to bring an awareness, let people know what it is all about, and to kind of encourage people to give it a try. I think you wouldn't regret it. I don't know, but that's just me. Okay, enough intro, let's delve right into this video, shall we? So to start with, we went on a cruise line called P&O Cruises. There are loads of other cruise lines out there, and it's the same one we went on the first time around as well. So the first time around when we went on P&O Cruises, we were just looking for, it was our first time, so we just wanted to experience what a cruise ship was like. We needed something that fits our budget, that the destination was of interest to us, something that was available for the time we were looking at for traveling, and just stuff like that. At the end of the day, we ended up going for P&O Cruises, and we had such a good experience, we decided to book them again. Now the first time around, it was just my husband and I, so it was just, you know, couple. At this time it was two of us with two kids, and so, you know, different experiences with the same cruise line, and we didn't regret it at all. So it was P&O Cruises, and it was a ship called Ventura. Now they have different ship names or different types of ships for different types of holidays. So the ones that go on long stretches of holidays, the ones that go on short breaks, the ones that are adults only, the ones that are family friendly, they have different options. So basically, if you're interested in booking a cruise, all you need to do is just check what options they have available and see which one suits your situation. So this particular cruise ship holiday was a 4-day holiday from Southampton to Amsterdam, and the itinerary was such that day one we departed in like afternoon, early evening. We spent the day one and the day two at sea, so like a full day at sea, and then towards evening we got to Amsterdam, and then that night and the whole of day three we spent at Amsterdam, and then the evening stroke night of day three we departed back to Southampton. So the whole of day four we were at sea, and then on the morning of day 5 we got to Southampton and we had to get off the ship or on board the ship. So basically this is just me giving you what the itinerary looks like for our holiday, which was a 4-day cruise ship holiday from Southampton to Amsterdam, which of course is going to be different based on the kind of holiday or the kind of breaks that you're choosing. So the Ventura ship that we were on had over 20 dining places and bars. It had theater places, it had a spa, you know, like wellness, it had a fitness place, it had sports center, it had about 4 swimming pools, if I'm not mixing things. These things are all on their websites. Basically you can see it on there. They tell you what it entails. It had like areas where you could just sit and lounge. It had shops where you could buy things, so if you needed to buy like, you know, some fashion items on board, if you needed some holiday things, they had shops like that. They had a lot of designer brands and outfits, you know, on board, where they sold wristwatches, rings, jewelry. So if you were thinking of proposing on board, you know, I bet you find something there that you could use. It had places where they sold liquor, alcohol. It had a mini grocery store. It was basically filled with like chocolates and stuff. It had a library. It had places where you could buy, you know, like tech things like cameras and phones and maybe smart things. Yeah. It had an area for kids, so different kids clubs, but with, you know, different age levels. It had an arcade, game center for kids. So I'm just giving you an overview of the kind of things that you find on a ship, which in my opinion is a lot, just centered in one place, if you get what I mean. So if you're going on holiday, for instance, from London to Spain, yeah, you have to take a flight, you have to travel there, you have to start thinking, okay, where am I going to, well, where are we going to eat, where are we going to the beach, where are we going to, maybe we're going to find a pool somewhere, or we have to book somewhere that has a pool. Where do we want to go? But you have a ship that contains all of these things all in one place. That's one of the things that actually makes it my number one, you know, like high on the list holiday kind of holiday thing for me, if you get what I mean. So yeah, that's just some of the things that some of the places or some of the things you would find on the ship. So with regards to accommodation on board the ship, there were so many options based on the budgets that you have. Like, you can choose from different options, basically from the standard room, no balconies, no sea views, nothing, just a, you know, regular cabin, to the executive, you know, like suites options. So based on what your budget is, you find something that suits you. And if you want to be, you know, luxurious, then you can go for the suite option. And if you just want a standard holiday where, okay, let me just lay my head to sleep, then you have these standard options as well. There's some that comes with sea view, some that do not come with sea view. They also have accessible room options, so, you know, wheelchair accessible and stuff like that, which is really good because, yeah, it's inclusive, so anybody, pretty much anybody, can go on a ship cruise holiday. The beautiful thing is all the pictures of all of these accommodation options are on the website, so you can actually see what you're going for before you go. It can even help you to make your decisions better. So we booked a suite, which was, you know, a nice, really a little really luxury holiday for us and the kids. It was a suite, it was really nice. So we had a balcony and we had a sea view, and it was nicely situated. We had a personal butler. I think that comes with the suite option. We had, you know, the same cleaner as well, which I felt was really good because you kind of like build a rapport with them, and you know that they, you know, over time get to know how you want your things to be. It's not like a different person coming in all the time, which is not a bad thing, but I'm just saying it was just one of the nice things that came with the suite option for us. And then also we requested for a cot for our baby, and they brought it for us. It was nice, it was comfortable, it was just a travel cot, nothing special, but it was good that we're able to have that option as well. Now with regards to dining, and I guess this is where it became really exciting for us, there were so many dining options. Like I said, there were over like 20 places where you could just eat. There was the buffet option, there was the free dining option, like restaurant style, where you go, buffet is also restaurant, but you get what I mean, like where you go and sit on the table and they come and serve you style option. I don't know what English what you call that. There was that option. If you also wanted to have one of like a special dining options, there were special restaurants and stuff, but you know, you had to book in advance for those kind of ones. So there were different options available. And why I said it became exciting was Toby, which is our first son. He's one of those kids that eats but doesn't eat. So when we're out of the house, it's always a struggle to find like, okay, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? And of all the places we've been, so this was the one place that Toby actually ate a lot, and he ate well. Like, we didn't even have to worry or bother our heads about feeding. And I don't know if it was the way they cooked the food or if it was the fact that there was just a vast variety of options, and that's one of the things I quite liked about, you know, the whole experience as well. And another thing is we had room service option. As a suite occupant, there are some perks of course that comes with that room and stuff, and one of them is the kind of room service options that you get. We get room service options from the regular dining, you know, and stuff. We can make our choice, and they will bring you morning, afternoon and night. But there would also be room service options if you're not in a suite. It's just you might have to pay a service fee or an extra fee or something like that for that. If it was like a land holiday, let's call it a land holiday, you'd have had to start looking for a restaurant, start looking for Deliveroo. Do they have Deliveroo in where you are? Because sometimes you might not like the hotel food, or you might be restricted with options. But you see what I mean, like Am I selling it to you yet? Anyway, the long and short of what I'm trying to say is there were options of dining, a lot of options for dining available on board. So it's not one you go to where you think, would I be able to find what I'm going to eat? No, there are options available to choose from, which is quite good. The other thing is the dining ambience was always very good. You know, there was a sea view restaurant side where you can just sit down and just, you know, experience the view of the sea, of just the ocean, just cruising on the ocean and just, you know, enjoying yourself, having a nice time. And the staff was always very friendly. Like, I don't remember if there was any staff that didn't smile at me or at us when we were there. Like, they were all very helpful, all very nice and friendly. And talking about staff as well, like when you see any staff on board, wherever you are on board, they are willing to help. So if you are lost, if you just need help, any staff that I found on board was always willing and happy to help, with smiles and just with cheerfulness. So I don't know if that's just something with the cruise line that we were on, but we had really, really nice and friendly staff on board. Now, with regards to entertainment, which is probably what some of you are waiting for, like, tell me about entertainment. Now, there were loads of entertainment on board, and I'm telling you, loads. So we had this newsletter that they would always drop in night before, and on that newsletter they had so many things like the itinerary for the next day, the shows that were on, if there was a spa thing going on, if there was a discount on some of the things they were selling, if there were events. They had events here and there for like single or like couple events, kids events, everything that was planned for the next day would be on that newsletter. And so it helps you to kind of like scroll through like the night before to say, okay, I want to go for this one, I want to go for that one, no, I just want to stay in bed and stuff like that. They had so many forms of entertainment. There were comedy nights, couple dates, game nights. There was a club which was running every night, bars which had like live music almost every night, I think every night, the theater which had like shows, space for like movies and afternoons, game shows going on here and there, bingo, music shows, loads of things going on. I can't even count it all because there's no way you'd have exhausted all the shows. And there were ones that were going on simultaneously, one that will start first and then the next one starts in the middle of the one that you're already doing, and you're like, which one do I want to go for? So there were loads of options available for entertainment on board. So it's not one that you say like, what am I going to be doing? No, there are things that you'll be doing. You are not going to be stuck for options on board. If anything, I think you're just going to be thinking, what do I really want to do, this or that, because there were loads of options for entertainment available on board. I must actually mention this on a separate point that what really stood out for us was the kids entertainment options that was on board. As in, you guys, that was like the icing on the cake for us, because we have 2 kids and it's like, you know what, how are we going to do it? But there was the option of the kids clubs, which, like I said earlier, had different age groups. So no matter what age your child falls into, you would find a kids club for them. It was a morning session, an afternoon session and an evening session. And then there was the night nursery, like drop your kids at a particular time and then pick them up at a particular time in the night, just for you to have some time off where you can just unwind and relax as a couple. So that was really good for us. I keep comparing, but if you go if you go on an holiday, I don't know if you find somewhere that you'll be able to keep your children, to be able to go. If you do, of course, there might be options like that out there. You know, don't mind me. I'm just exaggerating the point so that you know how really lovely cruise ship holidays can be, even if you have kids. So yeah, that was a good thing for us. And I guess the only other thing I want to talk about is the port destination we went to. So like I said in the beginning, we went from Southampton to Amsterdam. And at Amsterdam, we just wanted to find something that was kids or family friendly, like the kids will have fun and the parents will also have fun. There was a zoo called Artist Zoo, and there was also like a science museum, Nemo Science Museum. So we found those 2 places quite nice and useful for us with our situation. Of course, there were other places that could have been visited, but those were the 2 places we visited because it was quite exhausting walking from the ship to one of the places and then walking to the next place and then, you know, walking back. Walking around the city we did was also quite, you know, nice, because we're able to like, oh, look at that building, look at these places, look at this bridge, look at that, you know, and it was nice for the kids as well. Okay, very quickly, I'm going to talk about tips, recommendations, challenges and whatnot before I end this video. Number 1, I'm going to say make sure that you go through the emails that are being sent to you by the cruise company, because in those emails or in that email there are lots of information with regards to what the ship the holiday entails, what the ship entails, you know, what the itinerary entails and everything. And if you don't go through it, you might miss out on some of the important details or some of the things that you need to do either before you get on board or whilst you're on board and stuff like that. And some examples are like booking for things on time, organizing for like car parking if you're going to drive to the ports and booking that in advance. Some of the dining experiences that you might want, you might need to book them in advance, or booking for some of the kids clubs as well. There was a couple that came with the kids, and then unfortunately they couldn't get in because the session was full for that day. So some of these things you have to book in advance. Some of them, the bookings open once you get on the ship, and then as soon as you get on the ship, you know that you have to book, you know, quickly before it gets booked out or filled up. But you may not necessarily know these things if you don't check what the details of the emails that are being sent to you, because in those emails are all the relevant information that you would possibly need for your entire holiday. Another important thing that needs to be booked in advance is internet. So when you're at sea, there's no internet. So if you want to have access to internet, then you have to book that in advance as well. So this is just one of those little details that you probably wouldn't be told once you get on board, and you have to start finding out and start asking people or start going back to their website to check all those things. But when you check the emails, most of those things will most likely be on there, and then you can sort out what you need to sort out, book what you need to book before you get on board at the right time. Another thing is, if possible, try and research where you'll be docking, so the ports or destination ports where you'll be going, and if possible book things in advance as well. You know, decide on what you want to do in that city or those cities if you're going to be docking in different places, depending on the length of your cruise holiday. You want to research, you want to book things in advance, you want to know where you'd be going or what you want to do in those places, because sometimes you only have a short period of time when the ship is docked on land before you actually come back on the ship and before you have to start sailing again. So research and know what you want to do beforehand so that you're just like in and out. Another tip is probably you want to get in touch with the cruise line, because they organize some excursions, they organize like transportation from the port to like the cities and stuff like that. So you might want to maybe take advantage of those ones and book with the cruise line, and then have that, you know, excursion with the cruise line instead of having to sort things out by yourself. So that's an option to take the planning and the stress off of you if you want that as well. Another tip is to go for shows early. Like if you decided that I want to go for this show, go for shows early, because sometimes the theater would have been filled up and you're looking for spaces to sit. Some other times it's not really filled up, but then, you know, there's no nice view space to sit down if you want to have a nice time enjoying the show. You get, yeah, it's just a tiny little tip for me. Go for shows early so you can, you know, be comfortably seated where you want to sit before the show starts. Another quick tip is, if you're susceptible to seasickness, it would be nice to research and see what part of the ship will be better for you to get your cabin, because there's a difference. We were on the midship. You wouldn't really be able to feel the movement of the ship. You will feel it, you know, from time to time, but it wasn't as bad as if you were anywhere else. So you might want to research on what part of the ship is better for you, and just make sure that you're booked your cabin if you can based on that information. Another tip is to stock up on your favorite snacks, because you're most likely not going to find it on board. So if you have some snacks that you're used to, or snacks for your children that, you know, they would like, bring them with you and stock up on them as much as you can. It's better for you to have it more than for it not to be enough, you get. And this is just like a personal tip. If you have the money, if you're able to and you are up for it, perhaps invest in longer cruise ship holidays. So not like the 3 days or the 4 days ones, the longer ones, because then you're going to have the full experience of the ship. You can exhaust all the amenities, all the activities, all the entertainments that they have on board, and then you can also find time to relax, because you're trying to squeeze everything into like 3 to 4 days. Okay, let's go to this one, let's do this one, let's do this. You might not then, you know, have a nice relaxing time with your family. But if you're in a longer cruise ship holiday, then you spend some time just relaxing, chilling, maybe by the poolside, maybe in your room, just chilling with your family, and then spend the rest of the time going for activities. So like I said, this is a personal tip. I don't know if it applies to you or if it's going to be useful to you. Another tip is, if you're packing for like clothes and stuff, pack like you would if you want to layer up, because sometimes it gets cold on board. So just pack such that you have that extra jacket. So if it's hot, then you can take it off. If it's cold, then you can layer up. And then this last one is something that has to do with like your luggage, how you pack your luggage. So when we got on board, they took our luggages, the big ones, the ones that we checked in, and then they brought it to our doorstep when we had been shown to our rooms. The first time we went on a cruise ship, it took them a while before they settled us into our rooms. And so can you imagine just dragging your boxes up and down, or, you know, stuff like that. So that's just another tip that I feel like it's personal to me. So if you can, maybe just put the essentials, maybe your charger, your phone, if you want to read a book, if you have a tablet or a laptop, maybe just put those ones in your hand luggage. Put all the other things in the big box and let them take it up for you, so you don't have the stress of dragging things about. Because of how the ship is built, it's not one of the ones that, you know, once you get into a lift, it leads you to the floor you're going and that's it. So sometimes you just have to go on one lift, then walk across the hall, then come down, then walk back, then take another lift and go down to where you're going, or vice versa. It was a bit confusing. I think I was going round and round at one point and I was almost lost. I had to ask, like, please, I'm going to this blah blah blah, and then the person said, oh, go around the back and then you find a lift that goes to the floor, and when you get to that floor you have to go across and then find another lift that takes you back down. So I think that's one of the things I found challenging, you know, which of course with time you might get used to it, but yeah, it was still challenging. Like I said, the first time around we had that challenge where when we embarked on the ship we had to wait for a while before our room was ready, so you might find yourself in that situation, so just make sure you're prepared for it. And then another thing is the night nursery. I know I was raving about it, but let me just say a little bit of challenge is the timing of the night nursery. So I think it was from 7 o'clock or so to 11 or 12, I think, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, I'll put the right timing on the screen for you guys. So it only allows you to kind of like have a one show, so which is good. I'm not saying it's not bad, you guys, but sometimes you just want to have a longer time to just relax and unwind with your partner. And so if it's possible, maybe any cruise line is watching me, maybe you can increase your night nursery time to allow for more flexing in the night. But that's not such a big deal, but it's just one of the things that I found, you know, like, because we had to now be rushing from the show to rush to go and pick the kids and back to the room and stuff like that. So yeah, that's that. Is there any other thing? Quite a number of things were timed, so like if you miss it, that's it. So they were kind of like on a strict routine, so if you're not that kind of person, if you don't really like routines, then it might not be one that you'd really be happy with. So that's probably one of the things that I found challenging, because I'm like, if we wake up at 10, I've already missed one of the things that I want to go for. So yeah, that's one of the things to kind of like note, which was quite challenging. I think overall that's basically what I would say that were challenging. That's basically it. Like I said, there's going to be another video where I do like a question and answer to some of the questions that I've found and see if I can shed some more light and give out some more information as best as I can. After watching this video, I hope you're interested in actually going now to say, I want to book a cruise ship holiday, because indeed you need to experience it. It's one of the experiences I would say, you know, you need to have in a lifetime, and I hope that you have it. I hope this video gives you kind of like a boost to say, yes, let's go for it. And if it's not for you, that's also good, because I have a friend that is like, lie, I'm never gonna go on a cruise ship. What am I doing in the middle of the sea? So if that's not for you, I quite frankly understand, okay? But anyway, thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions, just please ask in the comment section below. I'll try and answer as much as I can. If you have any comments as well, if you want to share your experiences about your own cruise line, if you've been on one before, or cruise ship experience, then please write in the comment section below. I'll be looking forward to reading and answering as much as I can. But for now, thank you for watching. Please stay safe, be good, enjoy yourself, go on that cruise ship holiday, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you guys, bye.